Hello and welcome to Reflections of Faith. This is Dee Dryden, and it is Thursday the 12th, March 2015. This afternoon, I took a trip around to Polson. Let me stop this for just a second so I can show you. We are in Montana, if you can see that. A pretty nice little postcard there. I wanted to take a picture. I wanted to actually drive around Ronan and on the right side, south side of the lake, the Flathead Lake, because when I bring that U-Haul back, I don't want to go through Big Fork. I want to go through Polson, through Summers in that direction, because there's a lot more room for the U-Haul. There's a reservation there on the Polson land. There's a big mall and Walmart and the whole 9 yards, and I hadn't been on that section of it. It was a really nice day, so I went that direction to scope out the highway, actually, to bring that budget U-Haul, because I didn't want to take it through Big Fork, and I don't think I'm gonna, because I feel a lot more comfortable going the other way. And it was just a peaceful drive. It's really, really beautiful. Those pictures just don't give where I'm at justice. And tomorrow I think I'm going to go to Whitefish and hit that area where I was before, and just backtrack everywhere I had been here so I can do the back roads and whatnot. And I'll go through Big Fork and go through and do the Whitefish area where I used to live, in that area, and just go do some shopping or just get out of this apartment for a while. And then I'm pretty well caught up, and then I'll probably settle down and start studying on Joan Hunter. They called today, actually, and there was a gal on there. Her name was Jessica, and she was a prayer partner and wanted to pray for me because I had done a donation off the money that I had gotten, and she wanted to pray for me. But after the phone call was over with, I ended up showing her Carrie Kirkwood's Power Blessing book, and telling her that all the breakthroughs I've had ever since I've been here, everything has just been given to me. I go shopping, and when I think about something and I go get it, and it's always on sale. It's on usually clearance. And so I have been really favored here, but now I'm back to my budget, and I'm going to show you that at some point. I should write it out for you and show you what that is. And you can see there's 10% tithing and 10% savings, and 60% goes to needs. That's your groceries and whatnot, rent, things that you need, not want. And 20% goes to wants. However, if you have debt, you have 10% goes to debt, and you only get 10% to spend on wants. So it looks like this. And the wants, of course, is anything going out to eat. Savings is for, I'm going to show you how that goes. You see there, 10% tithe, 10% savings, 60% needs, 20% wants. 10% goes into debt if you have any debt, and you only get 10%. An offering comes out of that 20%. Should write that down. And you don't get to spend anything on your wants if you have debt. God wants us to be responsible for all of our money, so that's what I do. If I have $20, I put it into that budget, and it seems to have worked very well for me, because it has blessed me in the long run. So, having said that, I have about 7 months with this budget put in place for that $20,000 that I took care of all my debts, and I had so much to play with in my spend. But I also did an offering in that as God called me to, and to give it to whoever He says in that 20%. 60% needs is rent, gas to get here. It's also the 20%. I also had a flight ticket, and that was an offering that came out of the Joan Hunter Ministries, plus the hotel and to get there and be ordained. That's something that God wants, so it's actually an offering. It's not really something I need, but it will lead to hopefully a job when I get back from there, and a job will open when I get back in ministry. So on the 12th, I'm going down to Rapid City on a Sunday. I arrive in Rapid at 11 a.m. So I'm hoping that I can connect with one of my family members and or a girlfriend, that I can stay overnight a couple of nights, and then I'm going to head back to Rapid and rent the U-Haul and take off. And I need a day I have the U-Haul for 4 days, budget U-Haul. So there will be one day that I'll just pack everything, and 2 days that I'll be on the road, and then one day to just unpack before I have to take the U-Haul back here in Montana. So I took the trip around to see where I would be driving today, and I hope it's just as nice as it was today come April. It should be, I'm hoping. So with that budget in place, I am pretty well done. I got everything that I needed for this house. I got food that has been in the freezer. We went to Costco. We got everything by bulk. So I have paper products to last me at least a year. I don't believe that I'm going to be in this apartment at least till May anyway. I think something's going to happen after I come back from Joan Hunter Ministries. Every time I donate to her and or see her in person and attend, doors just seem to open up. So my mentor sent me home with, I'll show you here, she sent me home with a series on the Great Revival series that was done quite a ways back in Sid Roth, and I do donate to Sid Roth. Sid Roth represents supernatural things happening in my life. So as God has had me donate to him, and the 700 Club represents my finances. Sid Roth, supernatural. Carrie Kirkwood is blessings. Joan Hunter is the healing ministry. And my local church, of course, is Foursquare, which I saw that there was a Foursquare in Polson actually today. But it's quite a ways away, so I'm not going to be driving an hour and a half away on those roads every weekend. So that's not going to happen. So she gave me Close Encounters of the God Kind by, I think this is by Jesse Duplantis. So while I'm in this apartment, I have plenty to watch on these DVDs. I also have some DVDs that my son sent with me that he had, the Left Behind series, I guess. So I don't have a TV here, so I'm going to be watching things online and watching everything and getting settled through, and plus going over Joan Hunter and hopefully starting a Bible study at some point with that blessing book at some point. So that was my day today. I walked quite a bit. I went to Walmart in Polson, walked all over Polson, and I walked, drove most of half of the day. Then I stopped at my mentor's house. She lives in a beautiful, beautiful home on the lake. Her son owns it, and she fed me supper, and we had a nice visit. I took quite a few pictures on my camera of the beautiful scenery of the mountains in the evening, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Give it up for the world. This is my home, and this is where I want to stay, and this is where I want to live out the rest of my days. So again, I put that budget into place for those of you who are interested in having a budget. It's very simple. That's the budget 700 Club gave me, and it's been very anointed and very successful. Again, 10% tithe, 10% savings goes to vacations, unexpected miscellaneous stuff that needs to be done that we don't expect. I split that in half and do 5%, 5% of each. Then your 60%, of course, is needs, that anything that you have to pay for, any of your bills, and 20% wants, and out of that 20% becomes a offering that God places on a person's heart. And if you have debt, you don't have any spending. You put the spending to your debt to get out of debt, and you take whatever God puts on your heart to put on an offering. So that was the 700 Club that they gave me to use, and it has been very successful. I think God wants us to be responsible with all our money, not just with a little bit. So I have made 5 months. I actually stocked up for at least 2-3 months with paper products, and food I have frozen, so I am definitely set for a while. Should it snow, and we have a snowstorm between now and May, I am pretty set up. So again, I am leaving on the 7th of April at 7 a.m. heading to Denver. I'm hitting Denver. I don't have my schedule right here right now. Then I'm going from Denver to Houston, and I'll be in Houston about 2:30. And I'm going the day before the conference. I will be there for a week. I will head back on the 12th. Again, I get on the plane in Houston at 7 a.m. Head to Rapid City. I'll be in Rapid City around 11 a.m. I guess. So I don't stop in Denver. I stop in Denver, I guess, on the way home. I'm not quite sure how all that goes, but I will be in Rapid City on the 12th of April at 11 a.m. at the airport. So if anybody would like to volunteer to keep me for a couple of nights, preferably in Rapid City, but if my mother or my son want to come pick me up, that would be great too. Except they live in Chadron, Nebraska. Or any of my girlfriends will have to be doing all the driving and drive me back and whatnot. So I just like to stay a couple of days before I get that budget U-Haul and get back on the road again. So, having said that, be blessed to be a blessing. God bless y'all, and thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube and or leave comments. Thanks.